Welcome to Modern Homestead, Alaska. I'm Jessica and this is Vlogmas day 11. Who is ready? Well, here in Alaska, I wanted to share a little bit as we draw close to the shortest day of the year. And I have not even begun filming today and the sun is already gone down. I wanted to share a little bit of how I beat the winter blues and maybe why so many Christmas lights, as well as a fantastic recipe. And one of the things that you might be receiving in a Christmas card if you're getting a card from us, and I wanted to show you what it was. So let's get into the video. First off, what I have done today, because the vlog is my daily life here in Alaska. What do we really do? What are the real things? And this morning I got up and started editing a video that took until about noon. Noon to 3 is how long it took our internet to put it on to YouTube. And so while it was loading, because I had to watch over it, I started going through the Christmas cards that I have received from you guys. And I have today's batch ready to address and send back out. So Wyatt's gonna take these to the post office for me. Tomorrow, I'll be sending those out. One of the things that is included in several of the envelopes are actually Modern Homestead Alaska leather patches. I had these made. They might be circle, they might be square. And if you happen to get one of these, I wanted to show you what you can do with them. I got this apron from a subscriber my first year, and I love it so much that I put the logo right there on it. All I did is the logos, these little patches, have a white sticker on the back. You peel that off, and with your regular household iron, you just iron it on. So I also have it on some hats. So has my logo there. So I might take a hat like this if I wanted, maybe if it didn't have a logo on it, and I wanted it to be a Modern Homestead Alaska hat, and there you go. So instead of trying to sell merch and do all that, I know people have asked, oh, sell this. I'm not at a place where I could even begin to figure out how to do any of that or keep up on it. And so I had those patches made and I wanted to share those. So some people will just find them at random. We've already stuck them in the envelopes and then I just stuck them in at random. We pull out envelopes and return those. And then the other thing was my friend Crystal had given these, this was already in a video, the little mousse soaps, the mocha mousse soaps. So some are in this dark chocolate color and then others are kind of in a creamy mousse. And I've just divided those by the weeks, and a handful of random drawn names will get those as well. So there is that. I just wanted to be able to refer people back to a video if they got the patch and had no idea what it was. Maybe they missed this video. So let's get to making a cheesecake, coffee cake. I have a story to tell. I nearly had a panic. So I have been making this coffee cake out of a cookbook since maybe before Wyatt was even born, so 18 years. And I make it every year around the holidays, and I should make it all year round because it's actually that fantastic. And what I had done is I had gone through all these cookbooks, and if I only use 1 or 2 recipes out of it, I either took the recipe, which this was a cookbook that was like in a spiral bound notebook, and so you could add recipes and take things out of it. So I just opened it up and took out the pages that I wanted. I'm dicing up 3/4 of a cup of butter into 2.5 cups of flour as I tell you this crazy story. So Wyatt said to me the other day, can you make cheesecake or coffee cake early? And I was like, yeah, that's fine. And then I had frozen on accident the cream cheese and the sour cream, which this calls for both. And I was like, oh my gosh, I should make that now, because frozen cream cheese and sour cream, when it defrosts, is not very good. So I decided today that after I got everything done, I've been doing really good on staying up on the household chores, laundry going, all of the things. You can't see it from here. The bed is made, the rooms are picked up. I have just been staying on top of everything that we've gotten done this month in the house, and I go to find that recipe and it is gone. I had just pulled the pages out. It's not in my cookbook. I know that I made this last year. I know that I have the recipe someplace. Well, I was able to Google it and find the recipe, because I've made it so many times, I know that it's the right one. And now I have a Pinterest link to it. So, emergency diverted, right? So, now that we're done with our panic attack, but what's annoying is it's on my phone. My phone shuts off as I start chopping things. So, here we go. 2.5 cups of flour, already put that in there. 3/4 of a cup of cold butter and 3/4 of a cup of sugar. Combine flour, sugar, and butter. Now, the rest of the ingredients, because first we're making a crumb topping, so I have my pastry knife here. I'm going to do this part by hand, and then the rest of it we'll throw it on the mixer. Use the same mixer to do the filling, which is the cream cheese filling. It's all very simple. So I'm just gonna cut the butter into the flour and sugar. We'll pull out some crumb topping, and then the remainder of the flour, sugar, and butter will add the sour cream, the eggs, the baking powder, all of the different ingredients. So let me cut this and make a crumb topping. All right, I'm gonna set aside 1 cup of the crumb mixture. And then let me show you, I accidentally froze the sour cream. It turns out gross looking, but I think one can hope that this is gonna work. We're gonna find out together. So, let me Google it. It says that we can. So, it's a horrible consistency. Well, we will learn. Here we go. 1/2 teaspoon. What am I doing here? 1/2 teaspoon of baking powder and 1/2 teaspoon of baking salt. Let's start over, friends. 1/2 teaspoon of baking powder, 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda goes in. 1/4 teaspoon of salt. That should work. 3/4 of a cup of our lumpy sour cream. 1 large egg. And a teaspoon of almond extract. A little pinch to grow on with that. Okay, I'm gonna stick this on the blender. Now we need a springform pan. I have like these tart pans. The center comes out of that, a couple of different sizes, and it wants it to be greased and floured. So using lard, butter, whatever it is, you super grease the pan, and then to flour it, I'll show you what that means. So first, we want to get all of the butter in and up the sides. All right, so a couple of tablespoons of flour, and then you just tap it around. And this is what it's talking about if you're reading greased and floured. They have the different baking sprays. I used to invest in those and pay for the ones with flour in them and all of that. I don't do any of that anymore because this works just as well, if not better. Good thing Miss Crystal just gave me these spatulas. And then work it out as best you can with a spatula, but then I'm gonna wet my fingers in order to finish this. That is the simplest way that I have found to actually spread this specific batter or ones like it. Wet your hands and then just shake them off and then press this batter. Otherwise it sticks to you so bad. But it's got to come up the sides a little because that's what's going to hold the cream cheese and jelly from spreading out, because the cream cheese and jelly would stick to the pan. Cream cheese is also gross when it freezes. I'm going to dump the liquid out. Now it has a horrible texture to it, but we can use it for baking, and because we're adding an egg to it, as a stabilizer, we should be able to get away with this. So 1/4 cup of sugar to sweeten the cream cheese filling. Okay. 1 cup or 8 ounces of this cream cheese. What to do with frozen cream cheese and sour cream? Hey, we gotta try, right? Because that's so much wasted on accident. And then, so I found 1 really large egg out of the coop. I forgot, so I'm gonna add a little more almond extract or vanilla extract to this mixture. Just about a teaspoon maybe at the most. All right, so we have our batter. I probably wouldn't try this with like an actual cheesecake. So. But I think with the eggs, see, that's what we didn't want to happen. That's okay. Doing the best we can here, folks. I have this Marionberry. I'm gonna try that. So you just get the jam all around. Normally this would be thicker. We'll see if it's gonna set. But I think with the flour and the sugar and the crumble topping, I really do think it's gonna be fine. That's about half of a cup. Maybe a little more. We're fine. And then our 1 cup of topping. So the topping has always been like this, and I thought it needed to be a little more clumpy when I was younger, when I first started making it. But it does bake in and absorb so much of the cream cheese, and it does actually become a little topping. And then it'll crack and you'll see the jelly break through. Now, the recipe does call for some slivered almonds. I'm not gonna chop those up. I don't always put nuts on it, but it's gonna go in a 350-degree oven. And I want to say 350 for about an hour, 55 to 60 minutes. While that bakes, I'm gonna fold up a load of laundry that was just in the dryer. I go through, it feels like 1,000 towels a day, just in that cooking sink. And I went through 2 kitchen towels already. So I'm gonna get all this folded up, and then I told Wyatt I would come and help him upstairs for a little bit, and we may actually get to the final inside decoration. All right, it's been an hour and it is golden. And so we're gonna pull it, if you were to do a toothpick, you could do it into the sides, but if you do it into the cream cheese, even if it hadn't been frozen, it's not gonna come out clean. So this now needs to cool down to room temperature, and then we keep it in the refrigerator and eat it for several days. So I'm gonna let this cool while we go and do Wyatt's room. He is so cute, you guys. I said to him, I went upstairs and I said, hey, can you go get that tree out of my truck for me? It's your tree. And then I asked him, do you want it in this corner or that corner? He's like, that's my tree. I'm gonna run get it. He like threw down his live video game, ran out and got the tree for me. He is so excited to have the final room in the house that we are decorating is Wyatt's room. And the only reason he is the last room is I just got a notice from Amazon on his pillow covers, and some of his ornaments aren't even gonna be here for another week or so. So instead of skipping him and making him wait until it's good enough for a video, we're gonna do it real life. It is what it is. He's so excited. Let's head up and do that now. We'll let this cool. We'll check on it in a little bit. This room that we're in, it's Wyatt's room now. It was our daughter Cody's room. G-Mom, my grandma lives with us, for those of you that maybe this is your first time watching. She will be 89 on the 27th of December. And when we first moved her in April, she was in our son Caleb's room. And then that just wasn't quite big enough for her. And our daughter had just recently moved out. And our son Caleb has been out for over a year now. And Wyatt loved his room downstairs, but she can't do stairs, so we're upstairs. And so one thing led to another, and he gave my grandmother his room so that she could have a bigger space. And we weren't sure, because what our thoughts are as I get this tree out was that the kids' rooms and spaces would kind of stay their rooms and spaces when they go. And now that's all. The only room that is still that person's kind of space and color scheme and everything is Caleb's. So anywho, long story short, Wyatt has been moved up here and we haven't redone it. Like the headboard Erin made for our daughter. But fortunately, both Cody and Wyatt did black decor. And so until we can get this room done up for Wyatt, it's gonna be perfect to just at least get it done for Christmas and he can feel special. Oh, I almost panicked. Why did that take a minute to turn on? All right, let's get fluffing. So I have all of this beautiful ribbon that I use downstairs to decorate the house with because it matches the house, and that is kind of what inspired this room. Is I wanted something that was kind of a little boy, a bit boyish, or a little more masculine. The room is already in black and white and gray themes, and then I already owned all of this ribbon, and so I was like, oh, you know what, I should just do something that kind of goes right along with everything that he already has with the touches of red. It'll be very holiday. And so this reuse, or it's new, but I got it on like super clearance at Joann's. So we're gonna use this. So the poinsettias came with options. You can either glue on the clips so that you can clip it to the leaf, or they came with these little metal things and you can turn it into a pick. So you could make like an arrangement. And I think I went ahead and got the glue gun out. I'm gonna try picks first. This is a lot less work for me to just stick these little pieces of heavy gauge wire into the back. Is a little simpler, but if I can't get them to go where I want, I went ahead and got the hot glue gun out. So I have a whole bag of those. The ornaments that are not coming in for at least another week, they are red and black plaid to match everything else. And so they bring in kind of the brightness of red. And so that's why it's a little bit sad, because it matches the sheets and kind of the overall theme. And then it was gonna be the round bulbs that go on were red and black. Look at those candy canes. These are the first candy canes on the tree. So at Christmas time, the story of the candy cane is always one of my favorite. And why am I okay with it being black and white this year? First of all, it's either the shepherd's staff or it's a J for Jesus, the meaning of the season. And the red represents, when it's a red and white candy stripe, by his stripes we are healed. And then the white is for him washing our sins away. And when I saw the black, I thought the black is how disgusting our sin is, and his love and his birth and the whole reason for this time of year. And what we're actually celebrating is that he came and purchased that for us. And then the candy was hard so that it would remind us that he is the rock. And so as I put these candy canes on my little son's tree, I'm just absolutely overcome in remembering the beauty of what this season actually is. And theme trees can even do that for us. It's just important that when we look at them, that we remember the happiness, the joy, and the reasons that we're here celebrating together. And we have lots of beautiful snowflakes to tuck in. And it is adorable, and it is not overwhelming to me because it is very, very muted. But girl, this tree needs some color, and that's where the red is going to come in. Look at, immediately better. Oh my goodness, look at that. So, a white star. The final tree of the season is finished. I have to clean up. I have all of his new bedding here. I have a little tree skirt to put on, and I'm gonna vacuum. So, I'm also thought, well, first, the red and black plaid, like I said, we're missing those ornaments, but I really thought with the little stripes of green in the red and black, and then when you see the total Christmas bedding, that this gave it a lot more Christmas flair than just winter flair. And then this is reversible. So we're gonna do Christmas side up, but you could do this side that has the snowflakes. That would work really, really well. But I want the brightness of the white. Oh, they sent us the wrong size. That is not a queen size. That is a king size comforter. Oh my. Well, it's an oversized one then. This is one of his favorite blankets. It's huge. And we got it on clearance at Bass Pro a couple of years ago after Christmas, I think. And it is big enough for his bed, but he has just traveled this everywhere. Up here in Alaska, where they play sports, they fly them all over the state to play. And so this blanket has been all over the state. So I think it's a perfect little end. I just vacuumed. The final tree skirt is going on. I love the pops of color in it. I think that's perfect to have the green and the yellow and the red. All right.
When the Savior came near, midnight joy from a baby boy. Oh, hope for the whole world. Jesus Christ is born. Hope for the whole world. Jesus Christ is born.
Now, I think because the room is very, very minimal, there's hardly anything in here. It is not covered with stuff and cluttered with toys and everything else. It's bright and cheery. It really does feel special. I do have throw pillows. That is the other thing that hasn't come in yet. And we'll just roll with the flow. The fact that the bedding's a little bit big. Hey, it's for Christmas. He has other bedding for throughout the year. It's gonna be totally fine. I like the little punch of color in the green. The tree is green. I like a little punch of color in the tree skirt. The red is what makes this tree. It really makes it stand out. But the room is just clean and tidy and put together, and nothing, I don't feel like it's too over the top. Aaron is pulling up, and I'm just reheating chili from last night's dinner. The cheesecake with you before I said goodbye. Okay, perfect. No sticking. And then we had all of that cracking that I told you about, even up here. And the center has fallen just a little bit. It's not completely cool. We're gonna see if it worked. Is Daddy home? It did. It actually worked. Let me try bite. Oh, it's still a little bit warm. Yep. It totally worked to make it with the frozen. Oh, thinking dog. Hi, babe.
Hey.
Cake before dinner, right? Cream cheese, cheesecake, cream cheese, coffee cake. Is it good? Mm-hmm. It's That's really good.
Really good.
It needs to cool completely.
Did you
All right.
eat already?
No, I gotta heat up dinner. I just got done in Wyatt's room. Thank you guys for being here with us today. I hope that you enjoyed some time with myself. I don't even know if I showed you any of my other family in today's video. It doesn't matter. Tomorrow we have an exciting day planned of cleaning a barn out for a miniature Jersey cow. So if you'd like to spend some time with us outside tomorrow, you can hang around the channel by hitting the subscribe button, ring the bell, you'll get notification, thumbs up, comments, and sharing videos all help our channel to grow. My dogs are going completely wild behind you because they are so excited to see my husband. So with that, I hope you are blessed. I hope you find something to be grateful for, and I hope to see you in tomorrow's video. Bye for now.